Yeah. Oh, so much better. I got a lot of tips yesterday from our makeup girl.
Wait, now that we had that happen at the big show, I feel like we deserve some hair and makeup every show.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We're kind of
I do like this, though. It's a little more cash for us.
Big time. Big time. Right, should we do this show?
Let's do it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of This Week in MLS. And between our live shows yesterday and all the games, we got a lot to talk about.
There is a ton to talk about. One thing that people do need to know, though, Susannah's next episode of BTW with Kristaps Porzingis this Thursday. You don't want to miss it. I've seen a preview. It's awesome.
Thanks, Calen.
Yeah.
At long last, it's what the people want. No, I'm very excited about it. All right, so let's get to all the action. We should start by congratulating two teams in the Eastern Conference, Montreal and DC United. Both clinched playoff berths for DC. This is their fourth straight win. They remain unbeaten in 6 consecutive matches. And, you know, DC's been one of these teams, like, not getting a whole lot of love this season, but they're proving a lot of people wrong. Patty Mullins, man, he's the guy.
Yeah, we sat there with Adrian Heath, Heath Pierce, some heavy hitters in the room watching the games. DC United was the most impressive performance of the day. 30,000 plus at RFK. That place was rocking. Patty Mullins gets a nice goal. Almost gets another one, just the way he finished, even the one that was offsides. You can tell this team is buzzing right now. Bobby Boswell off the set piece, NYCFC, basically hands them the third.
Yeah.
But huge performance for DC. I think they're one of the hottest teams in the league right now.
All right, so with NYCFC's loss, this secures the New York Red Bulls one of the top 2 spots in the East. Now, on to Montreal, though, who finished with a 2-2 draw against Toronto. I think it's safe to say, though, other than the Impact clinching a spot in the playoffs, the big story was Drogba, who decided to remove himself from that 18-man roster. Calen, what's going on? What's going on with this situation?
I believe, as the kids say, this is some drama.
Yeah, a
Some
little
drama.
bit.
Do the kids say that?
I don't know what the kids say.
I wanted to
we're
be
not
hip, but I couldn't even think of what the kids say.
No.
But basically, I mean, Mauro Diaz said after the match that he had a conversation with Drogba, told him he wasn't going to be starting, and Drogba elected not to come.
Did you see his tweet, though, after the match?
I think that was a scheduled tweet. It was like congratulating the team on making the playoffs.
But it just made it even more awkward. Like, the whole situation just seemed so strange.
Does Drogba run his own Twitter account?
I'd love to know. No, I got
he's
a
like
feeling
Susannah
Drogba's
Collins. He has somebody handle that.
Exactly.
But the team honestly responded really well, and they leaned on their guy when they needed him most. Ignacio Piatti, 2 goals on the day. Unlucky not to come away with a win, but I feel like this is the type of thing that happens in a locker room where the group really comes together tighter. Disappointing, you have to say, from your biggest star when things aren't going your way. He hasn't been performing well. I think this is really disappointing to see from someone with the pedigree of Didier Drogba to let his team down and put himself above the team. Yeah. It's just something that I don't think flies well in a locker room.
All right, well, it's all going to come down to that final week of the season to determine how the West was won. Out in Portland, the Timbers defeated the Rapids 1-0, while Dallas defeated Seattle 2-1 thanks to a goal by Carlos Ruiz in the 89th minute. Dallas has a 2-point lead over Colorado. They head to LA, while Colorado welcomes the Dynamo. So next week on our live postgame show on MLSsoccer.com, we're going to be talking about the Supporter Shield winners. We'll see how that all pans out, but the big news out of Dallas, and this is heartbreaking for me because I love this guy. He's my MVP, Mauro Diaz, reportedly out for the season with an Achilles injury, and that is just a massive blow to Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, he's been one of the best players in the league, such a fun guy to watch, and the timing couldn't be any worse. They're in a Supporter Shield race. Flying high, really, and then now looking towards the playoffs, they're going to be without their number 10, their playmaker. Everything goes through him. They've lost Fabian Castillo earlier in the season on loan to Turkey. Now they lose their linchpin in the midfield. You see his impact. I mean, even just on that goal from Carlos Ruiz in this game, beautiful little touch from Diaz. Nobody else really in MLS has the capability of making that type of pass or even thinking to.
Can you replace him? What do you do?
There's no way to replace him. There's no way. So they're going to have to really try and change their system a little bit, probably attack more from the wings. But I think this actually gives Colorado the edge in the Supporter Shield, and it really changes the entire playoff picture. Dallas, I don't know if you can say, are the favorites anymore.
All right, so I mentioned Portland defeated Colorado, and the two teams sitting in front of the Timbers, Sporting KC and RSL, they faced off, settled for a point apiece. So, Calen, when the dust settles here, who are the two teams that are going to make it in?
I don't know. But that's why you have to watch our coverage on Decision Day on MLSsoccer.com. We're doing a live show.
Plug.
Siggy Schmidt.
Good plug.
Martin Rennie, we're going to have some heavy hitters coming into the studio. It's going to be fun. I do know that Portland does control their own destiny. So if they go up to Vancouver and get a win, they haven't had a road win all year. This is the time to do it, Portland. But they got a big bounce from winning that game at home. You can feel a little bit more confidence in the group, beating Colorado. But I really don't know.
Yeah. It's all a mystery at this point. We'll see how it all unfolds. So yesterday it was kind of hard to keep track of everything that was going on because it was all happening at once. But if you had MLS Live, hopefully you were able to see everything. A couple things I want to talk about here. The Golden Boot race between BWP and David Villa. Both guys scored, BWP with a couple goals. Who's it going to be, Calen?
It's a good question. I think BWP is going to edge him out, but it's so tight. That was kind of like a fun subtext to the whole day where BWP gets two, then David Villa steps up to the penalty, gets his. Sasha misses a penalty. BWP maybe could have added to his stats there. But I think this weekend BWP gets another one to clinch it. But I think both these teams really are not so focused on the Golden Boot. You just want to get in good form going into the playoffs.
Our hashtag battle that we did yesterday, I think BWP was the winner. Pretty
sure.
The people have spoken.
Yes.
Philly has all but locked up that number 60 because of the New England loss. And with the two teams having a 12-goal differential, hard to see New England making it in, Calen.
They can score some goals when they get hot, but 12 sounds like a lot for them.
Yeah.
Philadelphia clinches their place, but a loss. This team hasn't won in the last 5 games. Not the best way to go into the playoffs. Now, they do play the New York Red Bulls at home next weekend, the top team in the East, so they're going to need to treat this one like a playoff game. If they can get a big bounce from winning that game, get some confidence going into that knockout round, it's going to be really needed for them to just feel a little bit better going into these do-or-die games.
All right, and Calen, how about Alan Gordon, scoring on his 35th birthday. It wasn't the prettiest goal, but he was in the right place, the right time, right?
Yeah, and you know what was pretty? His celebration with Bajir Hussein.
That was good.
That was so nice.
Style points for sure.
Gentlemanly, very gentlemanly. A little bit of Euro vibes.
Yeah,
you know?
sophisticated.
I think when you go to brunch, that's how you're supposed to greet each other. You give them a little,
I've heard.
Mwah,
Mwah.
you know?
Mwah. The double kiss?
Yeah.
Totally Euro.
I might do that just to feel classy.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. I recommend it. All right, time for our favorite part of the show, Calen. Did you see that?
Did you see that?
Did you see that? There was a lot to see yesterday.
There was.
Hard to kind of pick, but one thing that stood out to me that was really great was Stefan Fry's header. It was unbelievable. Chris Seitz, this thing almost went in, and it was so funny after Chris Seitz got a hand on it, and he just went over, shook his hand.
I can't tell you how many times
amazing.
Goalkeepers try and come up and say they know how to be a striker better than you in training and try and hop into finishing drills. Stefan, right? He actually might have a chance because that was a nice,
it was a really good
header there.
It was really good.
And did you also know? Cal Berkeley guy as well.
God.
He was a freshman when I was a senior. I'm not saying my leadership helped on this play, but I'd like to think maybe he was watching me a little bit.
I'm sure that's exactly what he was thinking about. Okay. What's your, did you see that?
My did you see that was from the New England-Chicago game. Brad Knighton's red card, laying on David Accam. There was a little cuddling going on there.
Aww.
It was just really awkward and fun and strange, but perfect for Did You See That? I feel like they did that for this week in MLS.
You were like, yes.
I appreciate that.
This is the moment. This is the moment. Well, I've got good news for everybody. Really good news. It's not going to be very long before you get to see Calen and I doing this all over again.
Just what they needed. More
Calen and Susannah. We're going to be live again for Decision Day, our MLS Matchday Live coverage.
Big show. Can
I
just say,
starting at 3
shout
p.m.
out
Eastern.
to the crew and the producers and everybody behind the scenes.
They put together a heck of a show.
Hey, what a good job they did.
No, they really did. It turned
easy
out
for
really
us
well.
on camera.
But so if you liked it, then you're in luck because we're going to do it all again. And it's going to be fun. And Calen and I are going to do some Facebook Live stuff at halftime of all the games, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on Decision Day. Whoa.